The Artemis II crew splashed down 6 days ago. 4 bodies. 10 days past the moon. NASA isn't rushing out the lunar photos. They're harvesting something quieter. Data from inside the astronauts themselves. Wrist sensors logged every heartbeat change. Filter paper swabs captured saliva at precise moments. Cortisol spikes, immune signals, all from beyond Earth's magnetic bubble. But the strangest payload flew with them. Bone marrow chips, grown from each crew member's own stem cells. Living tissue, same DNA. The Avatar experiment packed them into Orion. They rode unprotected through the same radiation bath. Now those chips sit in Houston labs, scientists reading every broken strand. This is raw, engineering-level truth about human limits, like strain gauges on a bridge before it cracks. The body under deep space load. If your own bone marrow had been flying 3 feet away, getting dosed with cosmic rays while you slept, would you want the full report? Or would you rather not know? Tell me in the comments. I genuinely want to know. If facing what space really does to flesh matters to you, subscribe. We're the ones who don't soften the edges. But the saliva swabs told a story darker than the chips ever could. Small pieces of filter paper, pressed to the inside of the cheek at precise moments, before the moon, during the flyby, on the far side, coming home. The results came back cold and clear. Cortisol stayed elevated the entire time they were beyond Earth's magnetic field. Not a spike, a sustained high, the kind that signals prolonged threat. But the immune markers were worse. Latent viruses long dormant in their bodies started waking up. Epstein-Barr, varicella-zoster, the same reactivation pattern NASA has seen before. Only this time, the dose of radiation was higher, the distance greater, the protection thinner. Their immune systems began to slip. 4 elite astronauts, perfectly healthy on paper, yet deep space found the cracks within days. This is what the body does when it's truly alone. If a saliva test taken at your farthest point from Earth showed your own immune system starting to fail, would you want the raw data immediately? Or would you rather not know until your feet were back on solid ground? The bone marrow chips brought back an even more personal truth. USB thumb drive devices. Stem cells taken from each astronaut's own marrow, grown into living blood factories. One set flew with them. One set stayed on Earth. Houston ran single-cell RNA sequencing the moment they returned, gene by gene, cell by cell. The flight chips were different. Blood-forming lines showed suppressed production. Stress response genes dialed up. DNA repair pathways strained. The exact pattern NASA's ground team had modeled for higher radiation doses beyond the magnetosphere. Not broken, not yet, but measurably rewritten. These were the same cells that make every red blood cell, every platelet, every immune soldier in their bodies. The chips had sat 3 feet away from the crew the entire time. Same shielding, same trajectory, same dose. The data is now locked in secure servers, matched against the astronauts' own post-flight blood draws. 4 elite humans, 10 days past the moon, and their marrow already started to adjust to a place where Earth's protection simply stops. This is what happens when the body leaves the cradle. If your own bone marrow factory had been quietly recalibrated by deep space radiation while you were flying, would you ask for the raw sequencing files on your cells? Or would you prefer they stay classified? The 4th set of data makes the first 3 look almost gentle. Fresh blood drawn the instant the hatch opened. Lymphocytes pulled out, fixed, stained. Then the count. Micronuclei, tiny fragments of shattered chromosomes floating in their white blood cells. Not models, not theory. Direct evidence of radiation punching holes in human DNA. The frequency sat at the upper edge of every pre-flight prediction for a lunar flyby, higher than any Apollo astronaut ever carried home. The repair enzymes were already working, but the breaks were real. And they happened in 4 bodies that had spent 10 days past the moon. This is the price tag written in blood. If your own lymphocytes came back showing broken chromosomes after a simple loop around the moon, would you want NASA to tell you the exact number? Or would you rather the file stayed sealed? If you value information that doesn't flinch from the void, now would be the time to subscribe. We're the ones who show you the edges. 10 days was only the warning shot.